all the African leaders all over the world, all the African leaders should be very careful on the documents they are signing their signature. Be very careful on the document you are putting your signature. Because as a major prophet of God, the Lord is giving me grace to see ahead and to give the message before the time. As I look at the African continent, the Lord said, African continent should get ready. Remember when I gave you prophecy, I said Africa will soon carry the World Cup. And you see this outing, how far the African went. In the previous and the coming wars, you will see how Africa is going to go beyond what anybody have thought about. So which means in the realm of the spirit, there's a positioning for Africa to now begin to take what belongs to them in the global world. And so if you're an African philanthropist, or you are technocrat, or whatever you are as an African, it is time that we all should now begin to wake up and prepare ourselves, because there's a positioning in the realm of the spirit that is going to bring the African continent to come out of their darkness and begin to see the light. And coming out of their darkness has to do with them getting things right and getting the right leadership in place. Africa, all over the nations of Africa, they should begin to get their leadership in place. When I say leadership in place, I am talking about getting the right leadership and making sure that you also innovate your people to move into the world of technology, and also the world of informations and the world of development. Let your people now civilize, because I am seeing in Africa here the best brain that God has given to the world at large. And I'm seeing right here in Africa where the African people are now getting what is called a spiritual backup from heaven that will now put the realm light on Africa. And this is what is going to make the continent of Africa to now become the continent that all the Europeans, all the American continent, and all the other continents of the world will fight tooth and nail. They will do everything possible. They will fight as if tomorrow will not come to make sure who and who is going to take full possession of the African states. I don't know this message, if it is getting to the right people that need to hear and wake up, or it's not getting to them. But major prophet of God will always do what the Spirit has instructed me to do. Now, all the people need to begin to wake up from their slumber. African leaders should begin to put the right leadership in place. And I want to let you know that this world we are now is no more a world of blindness. You can do what is called copy-paste. How are other continents of the world getting their development? How are they succeeding? Let us now imbibe into all of those things and bring in things that will transform Africa and bring the right information that all the African people need to have, and also bring the development and good governance. And then you will see that Africa is going to be positioned in such a way to rule the world. You see, the reason why you see today America and China and all other Middle East are having all those challenges and all those fracas and all those things happening there and there, it is because the people has already wised up. The Middle East has wised up, the Asians has wised up, and then it is time for the Africa to now wake up from their slumber and wise up, because there is a conflict in the realm of the spirit of what is called a drag. Which continent is going to rule the world? But I want you to have this at the back of your mind. Africa should quickly, as quick as possible, wake up from their slumber, because there is a positioning for Africa. Positioning for Africa. I said it last time, and the Lord has caused me to say it again. There's a positioning for Africa. We must not fold our hands. Africa is positioned. You'll be surprised. Many continents we want to relocate and be part of Africa. Many continents we want to come to Africa and have a base. There will be what's called military base. There will be what's called the government of other countries trying to come into Africa to also have what's called alliance with the people of Africa. These are the things that are already in the realm of the spirit and is set to begin to happen. And with this, there will be what's called the highest bidders. There will be bidding. People will come, presidents of other countries of the world will come for bidding. They will bring billions. There will be bidding, and billions here and there will be brought in to come and prize Africa. They are coming to prize you. They are coming to prize Africa. But as they come into prize Africa, the Africa should not fold their hands and slip off. The Africa should wake up and be ready to switch to the new transition that is coming, the new development and the new switch that is coming. And this is what is going to bring about different cities of Africa will now be chosen for what is called mega industrialization. Mega industrialization. This mega industrialization, for example, Africa will have a place where they are going to be producing hybrid cars. When I say hybrid cars, I'm talking about cars that will run on electric cars, battery cars, and the cars that may not need to use petroleum products. Africa is going to also trigger what is called the nuclear power, where they are going to bring about what is called the nuclear power, that you don't need all this Kanji dam or begin to look for where to now begin to struggle with diesel to generate megawatts and all of that. There will be serious projects going on in Africa. When I say Africa, Nigeria, what are you people doing? Are you still fighting your brothers? Or you are still fighting the innocent citizens? Or you are still struggling with your daily bread? Or are you ready for what is coming upon the face of Africa? If you are ready, God is ready. If you are not ready, well, it's not God's fault. Now, whoever is into business should make sure that you join this very program that I've just activated called Crossover Activation. Spiritual crossover activation. Prophetic crossover activation. Activated. Now, what's the meaning? The meaning is that many people that are businessmen, you need to wake up in your prayers, because many people want to cross over to the new year and their business did not cross over. Many people want to cross over to the new year, but their money, their wealth, their riches did not cross over. Why? What will make the people's riches to be breached in 2022? It's not the will of God. And I don't want to begin to go into all the prophecies of the 2023. Then also you talk about the election that is coming forth. The election that is coming forth, the election of Nigerian presidential election, governorship election, and all of that. We must pray very well, because there are too many things God has given to me regarding that issue. It is in this crossover activation that the Lord wants to now relate to the world everything that will happen. So begin to program yourself, prepare yourself for the 31st crossover night, where we're going to be here and the Lord will tell us everything that will happen globally. And the issue of war, The issue of war must be curtailed. The issue of war must be curtailed. Security agencies and all the government parastators and everyone that is also a stakeholder in peace should also get their houses in order. They should get their houses in order. Get your houses in order. Major prophet of God is to just shine the light and just give us the way forward. They should get their houses in order. As peace ambassador, United Nations, I will do everything possible to try my best as a man of God and a prophet of God, peace ambassador, United Nations. I will do my best to make sure that I begin to now give what is called the light that must be adhered to. When I say light that must be adhered to, I'm talking about the light that we must all wake up. Make sure that we take the positive steps that will help us. Because 2023 is fully pregnant